Jomo Cosmos were relegated this weekend from the professional ranks of local football. Cosmos, a club owned by one of the country's most loved and respected football figures, Jomo Sono, were sent packing from the GladAfrica Championship after their 1-1 draw with TS Galaxy at Tsakane Stadium. Joining us to discuss the horrid season that Cosmos have had is the NFD.co.za journalist Kiki Monareng. A very good evening and welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Good evening, Vaylen. Good evening to all your viewers this evening at Newzroom Afrika.
Kiki, this is not something that we were expecting at the beginning of the season.
Absolutely, Vaylen. If you take a look at the history of the club, firstly, one of the oldest teams in South Africa, Jomo Cosmos, bought the status of Highlands Park after the coach come owner came back from the USA. But I believe, Vaylen, there was a lack of structure this season from Cosmos. It's been happening in the past couple of seasons, whereby the team has been languishing at the bottom half of the log. So even now, if you find the players they brought, ex-players of the team, they brought the Burundian international, Frederick Nsambiuva, because they've been leaking a lot of goals at the back from Chippa United. They bought Silas Mazia. They bought the goalkeeper by the name of Brad Norman. So Cosmos this season, their frailties were at the back and a lack of goals in front. They used about 3 goalkeepers. They used Kagisho, Ramadivane. They used the international goalkeeper, Itimba. But still, that did not harbor any positive results for Izengosi. And I'm afraid, as the masses are aware, they actually have been relegated due to those couple of frailties they actually experienced this season.
Yeah, 33 goals is how many goals they have conceded, although it's not the most goals in the National First Division. You have a team like Platinum City who've conceded 39 goals. However, just 3 wins for Jomo Cosmos. A man that is, as I said in that intro, he is a well-loved figure in South African football. How does this tarnish his legacy? I mean, we're used to seeing him yo-yoing in and out of top-flight football to the National First Division, but this certainly has to be a new low going into the 3rd Division of South African football.
Absolutely, Vaylen. It does actually take a dent into his profile because in South Africa, the PSL brand is associated with the PSL League and the NFD, currently known as the GladAfrica Championship. But I think with Dr. Sono Braje, as is officially known, that won't actually affect him adversely, football-wise, because ABC Motsepe League is still a football league, as much properly run, but his passion is football, his passion is developing players, his passion is to promote players to other leagues, be it in South Africa or internationally, as we've seen. He's taken players like Benjanis to Manchester City, Auxerre, and so forth. So it does affect the legacy of Cosmos, the players, the staff, technical staff, academy. But in terms of the football perspective, the football will continue as much as there won't be any financial resource that was actually backing him. It won't still be the same. But in terms of the legacy of Cosmos in the professional ranks, this will come as their lowest moment in their football history.
Kiki, what do you make of the rumors that this may actually be fought and relegation may be fought in the disciplinary committee hearings, because there are apparently DC hearings that still need to be heard when it comes to the National First Division and what has been happening in the GladAfrica Championship this past season?
That will be very sad, Vaylen, if it's unmerited cases. But if it's warranted, merited cases that needs to be heard by the DC, needs to be sent to arbitration if the needs does permit. But obviously, when I read a couple of weeks ago, Zola Majavu, the PSL prosecutor, said at the moment there haven't been any cases that have actually been brought to his office and his desk. So I don't want to say, Vaylen and your viewers, that's only hearsay, that's only sour grapes that people are actually saying. But at the moment, Vaylen, to be quite honest with you, I follow this league season in, season out. I haven't heard of any cases compared to the last seasons. We do know last season we had Tsakane and Royal AM's Tsakane winning that case via the courts at CAS in Switzerland. But this season, to be quite honest, I haven't heard anything that might actually mitigate the results on top, in the middle, at the lower half of the league, of the log. So if that does come into fruition, it will be very sad, Vaylen, for teams above Cosmos, the team, if that team will be docked points or perhaps will be suspension of players, technically going to the fore of relegating the team or placing the team in a precarious position, that will be very sad. We did come out earlier on in the season that if there are cases, punitive cases of this issue and of this urgency, they need to be dealt with very urgently. We don't want to see what happened last season. Hopefully the league and the prosecution team of the league has actually learned from last season. But from my side, I haven't heard anything.
Well, you mentioned last year's fight for who was actually the champion of the First Division. This season, how exciting it is. You've got two teams that are separated by goal difference alone. Richards Bay FC at the top, just 2 goals ahead of Tuks, and both of them on 50 points. This has been fantastic for the revival of this league.
Absolutely, definitely, Vaylen. This has been happening for a couple of seasons. A very fierce, a very challenging, a very captivating league. This is GladAfrica Championship. The people who do follow this league will actually tell you. I'm just happy, Vaylen, for the sponsors. Firstly, GladAfrica coming into this league, an orphan league to the PSL. Maybe the monthly grant, not sufficient, let me not say maybe, not sufficient compared to the PSL grant. I'm very happy that GladAfrica Group, they are actually getting the mileage, they are actually getting the leverage by sponsoring this league, Vaylen, inadvertently helping the teams to sustain their day-to-day business. But coming back to the matters on the field, Tuks, Vaylen, they haven't lost at Tsakane Stadium in Hatfield since February. They've got a goal poacher of note who's coming to the fore very late, Kamohelo Piane, who actually steals goals in the later stages of the matches, like he did this past weekend against Venda Football Academy. On the other end, you've got the Richards Bay that came very close by a whisker last season. They very came close by a whisker in order to actually now gain automatic promotion. There's solid structures. That's one thing we can learn, Vaylen. In this league or any football club, you need a structure. Both those teams, professional setups. Tuks have got the High Performance Center. Kisani Mutaung has been there, SAB coach, ABC coach, Varsity Cup coach, NFD coach. So this is no fluke. Coach Peter Lala has been there, a teacher by trade. Utongati, assistant coach. Ronnie Gabriel, they won the promotion in Durban, KZN ABC. Ronnie Gabriel, that pair, Ronnie Gabriel and Peter Lala. So very solid technical teams, world-old clubs, very professionally run. So we'll see what will happen. Vaylen. I feel sorry as a Cape Townian for Cape Town Spurs. Very difficult fixtures for Cape Town Spurs. Sean Bartlett and his troops face Tuks this weekend. Next week they go to Durban to face the number 1 team at the moment. You find TS Sporting, they face Richards Bay in Bombela. The last game a bit easy against Utongati. So it's very exciting, Vaylen, and your viewers. On top, we don't know who's going to take the 3rd position it looks like position 1 and 2, it's Tuks, Richards Bay, not in alphabetical order. Third position, up for grabs, JDR, Venda Football Academy, Cape Town All Stars. At the bottom, 3 teams can still be relegated, 4 teams, Pretoria Callies, TS Sporting, Cape Town Spurs, and Chakuma Tsamavindila.